Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Outrun the Neon Sun. I'm going to be doing another review, and this time it's going to be the Terminator 2 cabinet. But before we get there, I kind of have a little bit of a frustration. Let me just say this. Can everyone stop bitching and complaining about Arcade1up? Some people are really getting a following on YouTube because there's a level of angst out there when it comes to pretty much everything in life. We complain about our freedoms, we complain about our political systems, we complain about the gas prices, energy bills, we complain pretty much about everything. Now I've heard that people are complaining about the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet that's going to be coming out. Like, holy mother, are you kidding me? Can we just settle down? In fact, some people are getting this massive following on YouTube because they're trying to get this angst and anger and people on their kind of sides when it comes against Arcade1up. Now, for me, I absolutely love these cabinets. I love what they're doing. I love what they're creating in my life. I love what they're creating in my kids' lives and everybody who comes up here to my office. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably have already purchased several of these cabinets before. In this review right now of Terminator 2, there's a lot of people that are be like, oh, the guns are so bad. You know, whatever it might be, they may get frustrated on the size of the screen, what have you. But I want to talk about this because for me, I'm super frustrated with how negative people are towards the simplest and the smallest little things that Arcade1up does. Now, we kind of have to go into this a little bit, and I want to explain. Okay, so if you're anything like me, you know that Arcade1up, you've probably purchased some of the previous cabinets before, and you're kind of thinking, I don't know, should I get this Terminator 2 cabinet? Is this something that's worth my money? Is only one game on a cabinet worth it? Now, they do have a little bit of the background on how the game was made and the fact that it was made alongside the movie when it came out in 1991. And this was an amazing, phenomenal technology that they used to be able to kind of create this game. And so when we're able to purchase this from Arcade1up, bring it into our homes or offices and play it, are we able to recreate that same nostalgia? Is the game still good? Isn't that kind of what we want to know? And if you haven't purchased one, or if you have, we can go into that in a little bit, but just listen to me for a second, okay? Because we are like a bunch of spoiled brats. And I'm getting super frustrated with the community right now. And you're probably like, oh, click off, I'm not gonna watch this anymore. That's fine. But there's this reality of we complain about everything, right? Why is it that we are so frustrated with what Arcade1up is putting out? There shouldn't be any frustration. We should be stoked and blessed and super excited as soon as a new arcade comes out, right? So think of it this way. If we go to a restaurant and we order some food, if we don't like that food, we're never gonna go back to the restaurant again. We don't whine and complain and start making videos about why this restaurant sucks. All right, that would be horrible. That's just an evilness to us that we don't want to kind of create. We want to be kind of a little bit more positive. If you're watching this channel, just chill, relax, and watch this review of Terminator 2. So as you can see in the gameplay, you'll see just some phenomenal video that is incredible to play. If you haven't watched it before, you're seeing it now, and it's just an incredible game to actually, you're taking on the role of a T-800 Terminator, right? And you're coming back to save John Connor. And it follows really well the movie itself. And as you're playing this game, you're realizing this is really difficult. This is a difficult game. And that's what I love about this game as well. Like, you can spend hours and hours playing this game, but it's really not one that you're just gonna sit down and try to beat all the way through. It's something that you're gonna come back to. And that's what my kids and I and a lot of people who come up to my office wanna play this game because it's just fun. It's totally different than the rest of the games that Arcade1up has put out. It's totally different than Big Buck Hunter or Big Buck World that they put out a while ago, the other light gun technology that they used for another arcade. It's totally different than that because this is like hyper action. It's just constant things being thrown at you, grenades being thrown at you, missiles being launched at you. You're trying to shoot down planes, you're trying to shoot down Skynet helicopters, and all these Terminators that are coming at you. And at the end, you're trying to destroy Skynet's headquarters with the supercomputer that is in control of everything. And there's 2 special endings at the end of this game, and it's just an incredible game. Now, I do want to go into this. So when all is said and done, does this cabinet warrant your money? Does it warrant you spending your money on it? And that's where I kind of have to say, I believe it does. I think it's something that we need to kind of really consider because there is nothing like it. But that's just my argument. This isn't like an objective reality that everybody knows that this Arcade1up cabinet is the best, right? This is a subjective. It's entirely subjective. It's not something argument like, oh, I'm saying that it's great, so therefore it is great. It is just my take on it. And that's the only reason why you're watching this video is I love this game. It is so much fun to play. And the nostalgia it creates in my home is just incredible. And like I said, we love to play this game over and over and over again. In fact, this is probably one of the first games, whether you're 8 years old or 80, whenever anybody comes into my office, they're gonna wanna play this game first. That says a lot. Now it also says something too. If you look at this logically, there's not a lot of these Terminator 2 cabinets on sale, right? There's not a ton. There's not a ton of Tron cabinets on sale. And if you look at OfferUp, you look at eBay, there's not a lot that are possible for you to purchase, right? And there's a reason for that. It's because these games are still incredible to play. People aren't selling them. They're selling the Mortal Kombat cabinets because the new one got released. If there was a new one of these released, they might sell this. I'm not sure, but they haven't because they're not going to re-release this cabinet, right? They might re-release the Star Wars cabinet eventually with a Star Wars trilogy on it, which would be epic. They might re-release, I mean, you're seeing a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom 1 cabinets being on sale right now, a ton of them on OfferUp. You're seeing a lot of Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man cabinets because they've redone these, they've repackaged these. But you don't see Tron and you don't see Terminator 2. And the reason why is because everybody who has purchased these cabinets absolutely loves them. We knew what we were getting when we bought them. It's not like, surprise, the arcade stinks. No, this is an amazing cabinet and we still love it. We still go back to it. We were so excited to get Terminator 2 or Tron because of what it created and what it reminded us of. And that's what Arcade1up is excelling in. That's why we haven't gotten some of the other options for home arcades. Or at least if you're like me, you haven't. You've gotten the SNK MVSX Neo Geo cabinet. I got that because I wanted Neo Geo and that wasn't offered on Arcade1up. And it's still very similar to Arcade1up in its quality, even though it has 50 games. Although a button on mine broke and I can't get it to fix and it's a board issue. Be that as it may. So this cabinet itself, it just is a lot of fun. It's the aesthetics on it. Like if you look at the marquee is beautiful. You can see it in the reflection right there. And you obviously have seen it in the video footage. The marquee is beautiful, right? There's no washout spots. It's got a black one, you know, a black background, and it's just an incredible looking piece in the front to see. And the attract mode is incredible. You can see it playing right there. I keep on going opposite, but you can see it playing right there. The attract mode is good. And then you got the guns. Now the guns themselves, people were complaining about the guns. Does it have a lot of force feedback? Is it really high quality? Well, no, it's not going to be high quality because they're trying to keep the prices lower. If you were going to try to buy this cabinet on eBay, the original arcade cabinet of Terminator 2, it's going to cost you north of $2,000. Then it's going to cost you $750 at least to ship it. So you're looking at least $2,700 to $3,500 to buy this cabinet. Now, if you're watching this video, that's not in your price range, but $550 is. So you have this incredible compromise. You can get 5 or 6 of these Arcade1up cabinets for the price of one. So you can get 5 or 6 different cabinets for the price of having one Terminator 2 arcade original in your home. Plus, they're smaller, and it's a lot more convenient. It's a lot more light. And what you also don't realize is that this never breaks down. None of my Arcade1up have ever broken down. Sorry, I'm a little passionate because there's a lot of anger out there and a lot of angst, a lot of people being frustrated with Arcade1up, and I'm just super frustrated with each person. People are getting all these views on their channels because of their creating this angst, and I'm just like, come on, can we all just relax and enjoy our cabinets? We have plenty in life that makes us upset. Let's just enjoy these and encourage each other to realize that each time Arcade1up puts out a cabinet, you don't have to get it. You don't have to buy it. No one's forcing your hand to get the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet. No one's making you pre-order that. Am I going to pre-order it? Absolutely. I never got the first one. So I'm going to do my best. Hopefully the price will be between $550 and $700, but I'm going to get it. It has incredible games. I haven't gotten any of the Marvel games. So of course I'm going to purchase that, and I'm going to be stoked on it when it comes out, even if it doesn't have a BOE monitor, even though if you look at Kong's R Us review, it shows that it does have a BOE monitor. So the monitor's great. I'm sure the controls are just like what we've come to expect from Arcade1up, and if you have to put HAP controls in there, do it. If you have to put SandWalk controllers in there, do it. But don't complain about what's coming with it, please. And don't complain about Terminator 2. The guns themselves, I just spent a few dollars, repainted them, dry brushed it with a little bit of metallic, and it looks phenomenal. I actually had to cover the front because I didn't want the plastic to be covered. There was a few little things that I had to do, but it's simple. And it makes the game look that much more authentic. Now I'm going to hide the wires eventually, but I'm lazy because I'm making these videos and I have a full-time job. But anyways, all that to say is I hope you really consider what this cabinet means, what it does, what it creates, because it really is just an incredible cabinet. We are in this endless search for perfection. Perfection only happens in memories, and it isn't reality. And memories are completely submissive to your emotions at that time at the moment in time, as well as your emotions when remembering. Generally, the truth is muddled somewhere in there, but it is never perfect. Just like these games, they aren't perfect, but damn it, they're amazing. This was the first arcade game to be created alongside the filming of the movie, so they have the actors' voices, and mannerisms. You play as one of two T-800 Terminators, and the plot loosely follows the movie, and with the goal being to protect John Connor from the new T-1000 Terminators. Eventually, you go through a series of screens fighting against Skynet in 2029, and finally you penetrate the Skynet headquarters to seek to destroy the system computer. With two possible endings, I'm not sure too many people who played this cabinet were actually able to finish because the play is extremely difficult and it cost a lot of quarters to play unless you had an endless supply, but it was definitely more than a quarter, but I believe that it was 75 cents if I'm not mistaken. But originally the game was a massive hit and critically acclaimed. It actually topped the replay charts in December of 1991 and continued to top the replay charts until April of 1992. Now that's saying a lot considering the company in 1991 that this arcade kept. Other cabinets in the area when you would go to a local arcade would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They had Sunset Riders, you had Street Fighter 2. You had a bunch of amazing arcades, and this one was at the top of the replay charts. So people were playing this arcade more than those arcades at that time. Now that's very significant considering Sunset Riders, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, those are some of my favorite games of all time. And I would love for Arcade1up to put a Sunset Riders cabinet out there eventually, but that's another side-scrolling beat-em-up that I'm not sure they're going to do that for a little while as they're investing in kind of fighters and shooters and possibly the NFL Blitz. Now there's another issue that I have. People are already starting to complain about NFL Blitz. Like, why do we constantly complain? We don't know what it's going to be like. We don't know if you're going to have any after late hits. I was saying I'm not sure I'm going to get it, but I'm not complaining and whining about it. I get why they can't necessarily get the rights to have the players on there because it's expensive. I get all of these things. I don't understand why logic seems to go out the window. And I think our nostalgia-driven selves are kind of creating this kind of like, it's got to be perfect. Nothing is perfect. Nothing will be perfect. But these games are such an homage back to our days, our 13-year-old selves when we were able to play these arcades, and it's incredible. It's so much fun. So if you've never gotten a Terminator 2, please consider to get this amazing cabinet from Arcade1up. You will not be disappointed. And I personally love it. I love playing it, but I don't expect that this is going to change my life. This is just a fun hobby that I enjoy doing. Arcade1up isn't this, it's not gonna kind of feed the center, this longing that I have inside me. It's not gonna do that. Arcades are meant to be a hobby and they're fun. And what I love about these is that they don't break down. So I'm not having to invest all this extra money to upkeep these cabinets. And I have tons of kids playing these every single week. I mean, I have like 10s and 20 kids come in here every single Sunday. And I have kids throughout the week. And now my son, who's going to high school, is going to be bringing his friends after high school right to my office because it's on the way home within a quarter mile of the school. So they're going to be playing these all the time and they don't break down, which is amazing. And I can't say that enough. For $550 right now to buy Terminator 2 is a no-brainer. At $700, it was expensive, but I still bought it in November, and it's been almost a year since I've had this, and I still love it. It is still something that I go back to, still something that I play, and still something that I love to see when I walk into my arcades, and I'm able to kind of put that on, try to protect John Connor, fail miserably because I'm always killing those people right in front of me, and yet still I love it, and it's so much fun. So I hope you have enjoyed this review. I'm sorry I'm complaining a lot because I'm telling you guys not to complain, but I am very frustrated with the Arcade1up community complaining about any and everything because it does create views. And you know what? That's not why I want you guys to see this channel. I want you to fall in love with these games, with these arcades, because they are such a blessing in my life. And anybody who purchases these, it will be a blessing in your life as well. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to keep on outrunning that neon sun.